Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here? ABC's Meghann Norwood breaks it down.
Who's the boss? Dudes is lost. Don't think cause I'm iced out, I'ma cool off.
The sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs moving full speed ahead. Lawyers for Combs and prosecutors set to hold a status conference to determine the next phase following the sweeping indictment alleging the music mogul leveraged his business empire, power, and prestige to abuse his alleged victims.
He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
As the disgraced rapper faces racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges, investigators now working to determine who his alleged co-conspirators were and whether they too should be charged. 54-year-old Combs pleading not guilty to charges that he led a racketeering conspiracy that abused women.
I'm going to fight like hell to get him released, and he should be released.
The indictment alleged some of Combs' employees helped set off so-called freak-offs in which women were forced into sex acts with male prostitutes.
He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
Prosecutors said authorities seized records along with firearms, drugs, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant during raids last March on Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles.
Something's controlling me.
Combs has been under criminal investigation since his former partner and recording artist Cassie Ventura accused him in a November civil lawsuit of rape, repeated abuse, and even sex trafficking. At the center of the case, this 2016 video exclusively obtained by CNN showing a 2016 altercation caught on surveillance video of Combs grabbing and kicking Ventura. The lawsuit was settled with no admission of wrongdoing, Combs issuing an apology video back in May.
I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Since then, the rapper the subject of multiple civil lawsuits, allegations which he has denied.
Swimming in women with their own condominiums, 5+5s who drive millenniums.
Combs has reportedly amassed a $1 billion fortune after he shot to fame in the 1990s with hits like It's All About the Benjamins, launching the label Bad Boy Records, and the successful careers of Mary J. Blige, Usher, and Notorious B.I.G. Later expanding his brand into fashion, fragrances, and alcohol. That business empire now in jeopardy.
Sean Combs also faces a forfeiture in this criminal case, where the government says that anything involving this criminal enterprise can be forfeited to the U.S. government.
Our thanks to Meghann Norwood for breaking down how we got here. And it has been a staggering fall from grace for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. But what can we expect moving forward? I want to bring in legal affairs journalist Meghann Cuniff for more on this. Meghann, I appreciate you being here because there is no one else, truly, who I'd rather talk to about this. The Washington Post calls you arguably the most influential legal journalist working today. You've got your finger on the pulse. Your nose all up in it, Meghann. Diddy is currently being held without bond after his appeal was denied by a judge Wednesday. How significant is this to keep someone this high profile behind bars?
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine. But in the public realm, this is very significant just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from. I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, he had his mansions in Florida and California raided at the same time. And so much of this has played out publicly, starting back with that civil lawsuit from Cassie and then more lawsuits and denial of the claims, but then settling very quickly with Cassie, denial of other claims. And it's been this slow drip until this point. You have covered celebrity cases before, most famously Tory Lanez assault trial in 2022. That went viral on X, formerly known as Twitter. What do you think about the responses that people are having to Diddy's case and his reputation at this point?
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next 2 years? I think there's a lot of questions about the timeline. And then, like it was said in the report before, the question of co-conspirators. Is he going to end up with co-defendants on this? And if he does, who are they going to be?
Well, and that point exactly, Meghann, is what has so much of of people talking and speculating who else could be involved when you know the influence that Sean Diddy Combs has had in the music industry for decades. I mean, is it even possible to say how big this could get?
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution witnesses. But if they're co-defendants, there's a little bit more leverage there to work out some kind of cooperation deal to ensure their testimony. Or perhaps there's bigger fish in the pond that they want to go after, but there's just a lot of questions that remain to be seen about whether there's a superseding indictment and whether it includes co-defendants. But there's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendants, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take him to trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
This is all very interesting, and it means that we could see potentially more people charged. We just don't know yet where this will go.
Exactly.
Meghann, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We really appreciate you. Legal affairs journalist Meghann Cuniff.